Hello there, Meteorologist Shawn Cable here in the KEYC First Alert Weather Center with a quick update on the severe weather potential later on Saturday, later today, and into Saturday evening. A few strong to severe storms are possible. There is also an elevated risk for a couple of tornadoes across central and southern Minnesota later today into tonight. So it's important that you be weather aware today. There are a lot of factors that are working against the chance for severe weather later today into this evening, like the storms this morning have kind of used up some of the energy in the atmosphere. Also, we're going to have a warmer layer of air aloft that will inhibit storm development. However, if we can get enough instability to overcome that, thunderstorms could very quickly develop and very quickly become severe with the potential to produce tornadoes. So most places, or a lot of places, won't get weather at all, but there will be a few that do, and I just want to be sure that you are prepared and ready and paying attention so that if by chance you are in the path, you can get yourself to a safe place. Let's talk about the tornado threat. Actually, a pretty decent tornado threat across a good chunk of central and southern Minnesota, basically Mankato down to Slayton, Marshall, Redwood Falls, Twin Cities, up to I-94, St. Cloud, Alexandria, west central Minnesota. Our best threat for tornadoes later today. This is the probability of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. And I know these numbers are kind of low, but once we start to get into that 5% or above, then there's a pretty good chance that somewhere in this area there will be a tornado or two. So again, just want you to be prepared and want you to be ready with anything that's going on. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on here with the Futurecast. First of all, we have some variation in our different models that we're looking at. A couple of the models are saying the atmosphere will not be able to overcome that warmer air aloft, and we won't get much for storms tonight. A couple of others are saying, there's a chance. So let's talk a little bit about how this is going to roll. We're going to see a few scattered thunder showers continuing through Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening, but then we're going to see some pretty rapid development across far western Minnesota, perhaps as far west as northeastern South Dakota, southeastern North Dakota, and these storms will quickly develop early evening and move southeast into the nighttime hours. Now, give or take an hour or two on the development of this one I think is a little later than some of the others, so this could happen a bit earlier, and this isn't necessarily exactly where this is going to happen, but it gives you a general idea as to what we're expecting for these storms to move through. The best chance for a tornado will be early on in the development of these storms, when they're more individual and isolated. That way they can use all of the energy in the atmosphere. Once we start to see this turn into a line or group into a big cluster of storms, then the threat will transition to large hail and damaging straight-line wind gusts. But early on is our best chance for a tornado, and it's possible that we could see one or two isolated cells develop as early as late afternoon, early evening. So we are going to be watching that closely. Here we are at 4 a.m. We could see another cluster of storms move through late tonight into Sunday morning, especially along and south of U.S. Highway 14 into northern Iowa. This cluster will also have the potential to produce damaging straight-line wind gusts and large hail. So something to keep in mind. And also some heavy rain is possible with some of these storms as they move through as well. Everything will kick out of here fairly quickly. We may see some sunshine on Sunday, but it's not going to be quite as warm. Saturday today is going to be warm and very humid and very middle of summer-like. So get outside and enjoy the heat and humidity today, because we will see some storms here by later this afternoon. Again, real quick, want to run through that chance risk for few tornadoes. Let me click on the well, now my computer's acting up here a little bit. But there we go. Risk for a few severe thunderstorms and a couple of isolated tornadoes later today into tonight. Stay tuned for updates. We are going to be watching things closely here in the First Alert Weather Center. And if anything develops, we will be on the app. We will be on the air. Social media will have you covered. Let you know what's going on here later today into tonight. We will be here locally, and we are keeping an eye on the weather. So keep this, especially if you're going out today, keep that KEYC First Alert weather app handy. That's I'll be watching the radar. That's the best way for me to get in touch with you, send you alerts, information, updates, and it works no matter where you go in the entire country. I can send you a little blip to let you know what's going on with the weather. So stay tuned. We'll be watching severe storms possible again later today into this evening across much of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, and a couple of tornadoes definitely possible here later today.